Hey. I am super excited. It's Jania Massey here with JSM Consulting, and I am here with another month, another topic. And today's topic is know your numbers. So, as you guys know, since January, I've been coming on once a month, every second Wednesday of the month, to do some trainings about a different nonprofit topic that I feel like you should know. I do a deep dive. I give you the opportunity to ask me any question that you may want. And I also kind of give you my perspective, right? And so we have 12 amazing topics this year, and we are on topic number 6, I believe. So I'm excited to dive into this topic. So I'm not really going to do a presentation like normal. I'm really going to sit here and talk to you. And I'm actually sitting on the floor of my room because I was like, I want to get comfortable for this conversation. And I just wanted to kind of change the vibe up today. So I hope you guys are going to enjoy. So the reason why I wanted to talk about know your numbers is because it's something that's very important. And knowing your numbers is a very broad thing. So I'm going to kind of break it down into probably 3 different segments and give you some things to consider, some things to kind of just let sit and simmer for a while. I'm not sure. Some of you guys may have already started your nonprofit. Some of you guys may be in the beginning. Some may be in the middle. Some may be leveling up. So this is something that has been uber important. It's been uber helpful for me during this journey. So it's important to know your numbers. So knowing your numbers comes from a variety of different things. So one, knowing your numbers is about your community. It's researching your community and understanding what it is that they need, how many people you're serving. It's really diving into the demographics. It's also diving into the topic or the subject matter. And when I say that, like you could be dealing with homelessness, or whatever solution that you're bringing to the community, you need to know the stats about those numbers. You need to know, why is there a problem in this area? You need to research it. You need to see how many people you can serve. Also, knowing your numbers helps you to break down what you need financially to hit those numbers. And that could come from a budget perspective, or that can come from a how many people you're going to serve perspective, but it really helps. Also, knowing your numbers allows you to set a clear budget. And when you're in this space and when you have to raise money, you have to set a goal. You have to know, okay, I want to go out and serve, which a lot of us, that's what we want to do. I know when I started my nonprofit, I was like, I just want to go out and serve. And then the first thing was, well, who you serve? How many kids? Where they coming from? Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, how much do you need? And that's when I was like, you need to know your numbers. So I'm going to kind of dive deep, and I'm going to give some examples. If you see me looking down, it's because I wrote some notes for you guys. So I hope you guys are have your pen and paper and you're taking notes. And of course, drop your questions in the chat and I will answer them. So things to consider. So first, I want to start off with the research. So I will use the example of Stiletto Bosch University because you may not know, but I am the founder and acting executive director for this, and we are a youth training program for young girls teaching entrepreneurship through the values of collaboration, sisterhood, and community impact. So Stiletto Bosch University was birthed from personal experience, just me having the opportunity to be in programs like Upward Bound back when I was in high school, which exposed me to college, which exposed me to a variety of different things that I did not know was possible. So one end, SBU exposes young girls to things that are not possible. But for me, entrepreneurship was the lesson. It has taught me so much in this time that I have been doing this work. So I wanted to combine the skill sets of entrepreneurship and the value of exposing young girls to build their confidence, to know that they are solution givers, they are executors, they are all things encompassing. And that is more of a personal decision. But once I started to research about youth entrepreneurship programs and entrepreneurship programs that were nonprofit, I realized that what comes with this, you learn about financial literacy, you learn about investments, and you learn a lot of soft skills that are not in the school system, right? They're not teaching you this. And we cannot, it takes a community, it takes a village to teach people these things, outside of your life experience. So it was just uber important for me to do my part. So in my research, I found out that in Charlotte, when I looked up youth entrepreneurship programs in Charlotte, I think SEO wise, only maybe 4 came up. Some were large, like you have Junior Achievement, which is a national organization, and there's a chapter here. So shout out to Junior Achievement. And then you had a few other programs that I saw, and then I did a lot of research, like what's in the community, like what exactly are they doing? And from that research, I learned a lot, but I also learned or develop what our magic spot is and what our sweet spot, our magic sauce, all of those things is that we train, right? So some of these entrepreneurship programs, they're kind of giving out curriculum and that's it, or it might be more mentorship to entrepreneurs, not necessarily training you on the day-to-day, the in and out. So it helped me to craft what the curriculum will look like really learning them, really putting things in place and really executing, getting to an end goal. But also it taught me about how many kids are in CMS. Like CMS is like 120,000 kids. And I could be wrong at this point because that was almost 5 years ago when I did that research. But CMS is huge. Then it made me, okay, well, who are we serving? When we started serving SBU, it was high school girls. So, okay, how many girls are in high school? So that had me to break down, okay, how many kids are in high school, then specifically how many girls, because I knew I wanted my demographic to be young women. So that helped me to kind of, it went here, then it kept going, boom, boom, boom. Then it was like, okay, well, what do I have the capacity to serve? So if I go into communities, which is what I did, we first started our first official chapter at a community here in Charlotte, because that's where I reside. And I was like, okay, how many kids in this neighborhood and how many kids do we actually have contact with? How many kids do we actually engage with? Can y'all connect me to those kids? And I brought those kids together, and it was about 15 of them. And I had what I call now an open house. And I was like, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to teach you. This is what you can do. This is what I can promise you will happen at the end. But I need you to commit and blah, 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 blah. Like, gave them this whole pep talk, gave them what my expectations were, my capacities. And they said, yeah, let's do it. So that's how I got to my numbers. So once I got to that part, it made it uber clear how many kids I can serve, what the expectations were. And when I started to talk to people about, oh, what is Stiletto Boss University, I could say with confidence, yeah, we're in this community and we teach 15 girls in this community. And out of 15 girls, 8 of them became entrepreneurs, right? So it literally started me to get facts. And facts are important. Data is important, especially as you continue to grow. Like, we have a program evaluator. So we are looking at data not just from a attendance standpoint. We're looking at data with research, with surveys, with pre and post surveys. We're looking to see exactly what is changing over the course of time that they're with us. And we're able to report those numbers back to funders, donors, grantors. We're able to write these in grants. Like, it gives us a more case of why our program is important and viable in this community. So you will notice that a lot of people with their storytelling, they are putting the numbers, they're putting the percentage, they're putting the why, they're telling said story so you can know the impact that you're going to make. So I'm sharing this with you to first start off with your research and knowing the numbers. Know how many people need the service. Think about how many people do you have the capacity to serve. If I were to go deeper And use another example outside of Stiletto Bosch University, look at homelessness. So homelessness, has been around for a very long time, and everybody has to do their part. And we hope that there is a solution. We talk about affordable housing, and we talk about financial literacy, a lot of training, just trying to help people to get back on their feet. But then you have programs that's like, but homeless people, they still need food, or they need clothes, or they need certain things. They need somewhere to get the mail. They need somewhere to an address so they can apply for the job and to get back on their feet, right? So with homelessness, you really have several different niche pockets that you need to decide, how do you want to serve there. It is a lot of homelessness organizations that support it, and some of them do different things. Like, I would like to shout out Hope Vibes, Adrian and Emmanuel Threat. Like, I think it's very innovative what they're doing. And for those that do not know them, definitely go check out their website, Hope Vibes. I think it's hopevibes.org. But they basically have I guess I would say a truck, not a van, but it's a huge truck that allows homeless people to come and wash up and wash their clothes and be fresh and clean. And that helps in so many ways of just wellness, self-care, health. You know what I'm saying? Just getting them the basic rights, their basic needs, and they come to them and they offer that. And that is a specific niche. But also, if you dive deeper into Hope Vibes, you will see that they have a capacity of people they can serve. They have to determine where they should serve. Just in my observation of them and being in support of them, I see that they do help in areas like Tent City, which we call that here in Charlotte, where the homeless people are living outside in certain areas, and they have tents, so they may serve there. They may partner with churches in other places, but they do have a capacity limit of how many they can serve, how many loads of clothes they can wash, and have to know those numbers, I'm sure, for them to articulate that to whoever they partner with. So that is just another example of me sharing why you should know your numbers, especially in the beginning, especially with the data, because it's uber important. Also, on the back end of that, going in, knowing what you need to do and who you want to serve, also make sure you continue to collect that data. And the data that I'm talking about is, of course, demographics, name, number, email address, preferred phone number, how you can contact them, how do you get in touch, preferred method of contact. You may want their age, you may want their race, because you want to break down, okay, what is the percentage, who am I serving, who is the highest population of being homeless? Do you want to target that population, or are you trying to target all? So it's a lot of questions that you need to do, and I'm just giving you the basic questions that's coming to the top of my head and things that I've had to do. But I also hope you know that it goes deeper and deeper and deeper. So you kind of start here, then it do. And you may feel like, oh my God, I'm not helping, but your little part, it helps in the grand scheme of things, right? So I hope that makes sense. Okay. So the next thing is finances. I'm probably going to spend the longest time on this, because y'all know these trainings usually be about 25 to 30 minutes. But finances. You need to know your numbers for finances. Deep breath. Okay. So financially, you need to know your number, because you will always hear me say this. A nonprofit is still a business. It's just tax exempt. It's just a tax exempt business, but it is still a business. The board, the board technically is a nonprofit, but you need to know your budget, and your budget, it needs to include the salary. If you need to hire contractors, if you need to get supplies, if you need to have office space, if you need to get marketing materials. Now we're in the age of virtual. We've been in the age of virtual for over 30 years now. So now what type of technology do you need? And the technology may not be to just it's beyond communicating. Technology helps you with streamlining processes. Streamlining processes as far as how you get donations. Streamlining processes as far as how you communicate. Streamline process as far as how you connect with your donors or funders or whoever that you need to talk to. Technology could have a big role in everything because it can automate how people book you. You know, people could want to use your service, whatever it is, and you need technology in order for the connection. Because again, nonprofits are a business, and you can't answer all your calls that come through your phone. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes I'm like, my phone is just ringing all the time, and everybody don't leave a message. But if you send me an email, or if you could book me on my website, or want to book a meeting with us to learn about our programming, great. Also, you need a website, right? Website can answer a lot of questions without people having to directly talk to you. A website can give you a whole experience. A website can give you everything that you need and help you to get to the next level. So that's what I mean by technology, not just the day-to-day. It helps you with streamlining is basically what I'm trying to get at. But you need to know your budget. What are you spending money on? What are your expenses, right? Then that kind of ties into what do you need to generate in revenue. So your annual budget, I'm just going to throw a number out there, could be $100,000 for the year. The $100,000 for the year could probably pay a couple of contractors and then also, let's back up. You can use volunteers, right? Volunteers are free help. They are here to serve. So you may not need contractors, but you do need to have a system in place for you to make sure you have everybody's information, how to contact them, what the steps and procedures are, all of those things. So what I was saying was I lost my train of thought. Oh my God, I hate when that happens. You need to know your budget. That's what we're talking about, finances. You need to know your budget. So if you have an annual budget of $100,000 for the year, who are you paying out? What supplies do you need to get? Do you need to have an office space? I know I used Hope Vibes as an example. A lot of their fundraising was for this amazing van that they've created for it could be outfitted so it can serve community. Even though you're a nonprofit, you still got bills. I know for Stiletto Boss University, I was not on salary probably the first 3 years of the organization. Then I kind of started contracting myself out before I officially became on payroll. And that was my personal choice, probably a little bit of founder syndrome. But I'm sharing that to say is that my salary was always included in my budget. And really my salary is more so part-time, even though I do work full-time. But I also have contractors because we started to expand. And in our expansion, I could not be everywhere because I still needed to do the day-to-day operations of the business. So I started to hire contractors. And then, there are supplies that we need, in order for us to teach. We're a training program. We're like real life entrepreneurial teachers. So luckily, we don't have to pay for a space. We are we come to the school or to the student or to the community, but we do need to come with supplies. We do need to have pen, we have paper, we have custom curriculum. In addition to our custom curriculum, we have copyrighted, we have trademarks, we have secured our business in ways to protect the cost of the community. People did not invest in us for us to not be fully protected legally. So we do that as well. But with saying all of that, once you realize how many people can serve, you can break that down in the cost of how much it is per person, right? So like to run Stiletto Boss University, we have up to 15 girls in a chapter. That is our sweet spot. And that is about $350 per kid over a 9-month period of programming. Okay, so even if you divide 350 by 9, you see how much that costs per month. And that number is like, oh, well, I can stop eating Starbucks for a month and pay this. So $350 for some young girl to learn entrepreneurship, and that will make them make better life decisions, and they will create improvement. They will do community impact. They will collaborate. Like the gift that it gives is way beyond $350, So you want to tell those numbers numbers and to break it down in order for you to share that story of the impact and what it can do and how it can be. So those are like the top two things I want you to consider when to know your numbers and things to think about. I definitely don't want to overwhelm you guys in this training because it is so many numbers to collect. It's ridiculous, especially when you start dealing with a program evaluator. But what I'm sharing with you today is to just get started. So think about it logically. What do I need in order to be of impact? And understand what your capacity is, right? Because if you don't know your capacity, you can easily get overwhelmed trying to help everybody when it may just need to be that you help 10% of that population. So I hope this is helpful. If you guys have any questions, please, please, please put it in the chat. I will come back and answer them. I may come back and do another actual live session that's just for Q&A on this particular topic. But like I said, hope it was helpful. Remember to know your numbers and don't let that stop you from serving. So y'all have a beautiful, beautiful, blessed day. Peace out.